Tate, you're a senior. How does it feel as your fourth year? How you feel to be leading this team?
Fourth year, final year. Very excited. Just excited for my senior year. Excited, help lead the team to possibly, make one of the biggest and best years of our, history in Louisville men's soccer. So I'm just excited to help lead our team and just, be a part of, one of the pieces to the puzzle, and just to help our guys, continue success and win trophies this year.
Hey, when you look at the expectations you talked about, I mean, you guys have had them when you got here, they were there, but how have they raised even more this year, maybe inside the locker room?
Just from what we've seen in the past, and what we accomplished, and we know that we have to build on that. And from the past 2 years of finishing the Elite Eight, and we know that we were capable of being in the Final Four the past 2 years. So I think we just had to learn from our mistakes last year and what we did well, and just continue pushing, continue working, and just aspire to get to that next step, which is the College Cup, and then ACC championship. Just those games that we could potentially win trophies in.
How do you feel at this point in the season versus the last three in the run-up to the first game?
Good. It's always different, always a new team, new year. But I think we have something special this year with just the group of guys we have. Collectively, I feel like we're very, very tight as a team this year. From the young freshmen coming in to the leadership guys, from the seniors. I think we have a good, strong core group, and I think we all respect and care about each other as a family this year. And I wouldn't say there's anything different from the past years, but I just think it's just a good feeling, good vibes in the locker room. And so I know we know what we're capable of and the talent we have on this team. And I think that if we just, bind together, listen to our coaches, and just play the way we should, that we're capable of, getting to the top of the mountain this year. So I think we're all excited, and we're just ready to start the journey.
Cody, kind of the same thing about the expectations. What are they like inside the locker room, and when you get to that Elite Eight 2 years in a row, how much does that drive you to make that next step?
I think the expectations this year are higher, to be honest. With 2 Elite Eight appearances, we talked about this, just getting over that hump. That's what we're trying to do, I guess you could say. We have the talent. It's on us now. There's no real pressure, but I think this is the year to do it, and I think we're going to do it this year.
For all three of you, what was the win over IU like, and what did you learn from that experience?
Liam, you can start.
Yeah,
Pull one.
the win over IU was massive for us. Going into the season with a big win, away win as well on the road over a team like IU, it breeds confidence, among the guys, and not just for the guys who are going to have a big impact this year, for the guys who came off the bench and played well. They proved to not only us but the coaching staff that they could come on and do the business when they needed to. So like I say, it breeds confidence, and against another top team, we take that into the season, and it's a huge positive for us.
It's officially game week. How does that? Oh, I'm sorry. Finish the question for her.
Back to your question about getting the big win over IU. First game of the year, there's really not too much, expectations on what the team's going to be like this year. So it's the first real test to see what we're about, and it was a good, a good test for us, especially with those preseason rankings coming out. Us being number 6, and then Indiana being number 2, and Indiana always being a strong, top 10 program. And them losing in the College Cup last year, and they have a good team this year. So it was, the first real test to see, what we're all about and how we can, stand to those top level teams, us being one. And from the start of the game, we were possessing the ball, we were doing the things that we wanted to do, and I felt like we dictated the game at times. And there's a lot of good movements and moments for us going forward. And in the back, guys like Cody, Luca were very, very strong, and they didn't have too much going for Indiana's offense. So from that, it was really, really, promising to see that, we can not just contest with one of those top teams, but be dominant against them. And so I think it puts a lot of confidence to the younger guys, to just our team in general, just to know that it's not, we're number 6 and number 2, they're gonna be better than us, that we're one of those top teams, and we should be competing, we should be beating these other top teams, and we're gonna be one of those this year.
Just to build on that, we talk about being road warriors, and beating a team like IU on the road is a huge step for us, and I think it gives the whole team confidence, because being a preseason game, we got to get some guys in there that are young, so it's good. It's a good experience for them as well. But it's just a good way to start the season on the road. Last year we went 6-0 on the road, and that's what we're going to try to do this year, and that was a good first step.
Tate, you got Keno coming in. Obviously, you were the leading goal scorer last year. How excited are you to play with him up top?
Very excited to play with Keno up top. He had a good 2 last year in junior college, and then this previous summer he was playing PDL with Des Moines, Iowa Menace, and he was the PDL Player of the Year. Had a bunch of goals, and he's a very, very talented player. He's a great guy in the locker room. Doesn't know too much English, but he's really caring. Thinks about his teammates a lot, and he's going to be a good player in that position. He's going to score a bunch of goals for us this year.
Cody, talk defensively about what this team can do defensively, and then when you look at the in goal with both of those guys, you feel like it seems like coach is confident in putting either one of them in there.
Yeah, let's start off with the back line. We got a transfer coming in. We're really deep in the back, let's just say that. I think honestly right now it's a toss-up between everybody in the back. It's just competitive. Everybody from Luca to Lamine to me for a center back position, and Chris, it's a competitive race right now, and we're all fighting for that spot. I just think we're solid back there, and I can personally rely on anybody to come in there. If one person goes down, I think someone's picking the spot right up. And then I think it's the same way in goal. I'm comfortable with Will and Jake, anybody in goal right now. Both of them are playing really well. I have a lot of confidence in them.
Cody, what's the locker room like? I mean, you've got guys from all over the world all coming into this team together. What's the culture of the locker room like with so many different backgrounds?
It's kind of funny. You walk in there's different music playing. Sometimes I can't understand a word of the music, and then sometimes I understand all of the song. But I think it's pretty cool. I grew up here. Not many people were, you just come in the same songs, but coming here, there's different cultures, different beliefs, different Sharif praying in there. I've never seen that before. It's just different things around you that you just soak it in and be like, wow, that's cool that I get to see that. Yeah, I think just cool seeing different cultures and stuff around you.
Liam, similar question. What's it like to bring people from essentially all over the world together at a college soccer team?
Yeah, it's really special. It's very unique as well. Growing up in England, there's so many teams in such a small country that a lot of the guys end up being quite local. So to come, across the Atlantic Ocean and settle into a new city and a new home and have guys from all different corners of the globe, it's really special. Like Cody says, we've got guys like Sharif, like Ziad, who are praying in the locker room before games, and it's not something you grow up seeing. We've got guys like Hadji and Luca playing their French music on the aux cable, and it's nice. It's a good vibe, and the culture's good.
But maybe your specific experience, but maybe some others as well. Why Louisville? What was it about Louisville that drew you here? What do you think it's about Louisville that draws the other people here?
Well, I mean, it's a huge program. There's a strong tradition here, over the last few years. The coaching staff were huge for me as well. I spoke to a lot of different coaches, 2 or 3 years ago now. But the coaching staff were what attracted me most. I think they valued me as a player, but also as a person at a time when I needed picking up. I wasn't playing football at the time. I'd just been released from a football club in England, so I needed picking up, and the coaching staff managed to do that. Showed a lot of faith in me as a player and as a person, as I say. And then of course the facilities, like what we've got in here in this room, is special. Playing out on Lynn, so mainly coaches and facilities.
Anything else for these guys?
Tate, this time last year we talked to Tim, and he was talking about his career. Went on, had a successful senior year. Do you feel anything about being a senior? I mean, you've been through kind of the ups and the downs here, and Coach mentioned you as maybe leaving as one of the better players in the program. What does that make you feel like when he talks about you like that, and kind of talk about your senior year?
Just puts a lot of responsibility on the leadership qualities that he's helped taught me, and I put a lot of just emphasis on making sure that it's not about myself this year, it's about the team, and making sure that we reach the potential that we want to get to. So trying not to think about too much about it individually, but just me using what I can to help all the other guys to make our team the best. And I think just back to the question you were talking about, with recruiting, what draws people in, a lot of it isn't the talent of the players, but the potential that the players can become. And I look at that, and that's one of the main qualities I like about Ken and how he recruits. He gets a lot of guys that aren't the top level players, at like they're like, you know, the best team in the country, but he finds the guys that, you know, can become those top level players. You know, I look at like Will Meyer. He came from a high school in Solon, Ohio, and I like remember when I saw him, I was just like, who is this kid? And now he's probably gonna be one of the top, you know, Division I goalkeepers. And I just like really just admire that, and I think it's pretty cool to see that how he can just, you know, develop players to become, you know, those leaders and those role models for the young guys to then continue the legacy of, you know, U of L men's soccer.
Any more? Mike?